What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again. The other Bob in the video, and today we're about to be reading out of 1 Samuel chapter 5 and chapter 6. Without further ado, man, let's get right to it. I'm doing these chapters together because in total it's less than the whole page total, or like the 2 pages. So yeah, it'll probably be less than 10 minutes, so I just decided to combine the videos today. Okay, the Philistines and the Ark. When the Philistines captured the Ark of God, they brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Then the Philistines took the Ark of God and brought it into the house of Dagon, and set up beside Dagon. And when the people at Ashdod rose early the next day, behold, Dagon had fallen face downward on the ground before the Ark of the Lord. So they took Dagon and put him on the back in his place. But when they rose early on the next morning, behold, Dagon had fallen face downward on the ground before the Ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both his hands were lying cut off at the threshold. Only the trunk of Dagon was left to him. This is why the priests of Dagon and all who entered the house of Dagon did not tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod to this day. The hand of the Lord was heavy against the people of Ashdod, and he was terrified and afflicted them with tumors, both Ashdod and its territory. And when the men at Ashdod saw how things were, they said, "The ark of God of Israel must not remain with us, for his hand is hard against us and against Dagon our God." So they sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines and said, "What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel?" They answered, "Let the ark of the God of Israel be brought around to Gath." So they brought the ark of God of Israel there. But after they had brought it around, the hand of the Lord was against the city, causing a very great panic. And he afflicted the men of the city, both young and old, so that tumors broke out on them. So they sent the ark of God to Ekron. But as soon as the ark of God came to Ekron, the people of Ekron cried out, "They have brought around to us the ark of the God of Israel to kill us and our people." They sent therefore and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines and said, "Send away the ark of the God of Israel, and let it return to its own place, that it may not kill us and our people." For there was a deathly panic throughout the whole city. The hand of God was very heavy there. The men who did not die were struck with tumors, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. Okay, that is the end of the first chapter. Um, so basically, yeah, they took the Ark of God, and that's like the most important artifact that they had, and the most meaningful item that God gave them, and that it was held in the highest pristine. Um, so yeah, but basically, hand of the Lord was good to see. Yeah, so when they happened, when they brought the ark, they ended up basically bringing curses upon themselves because it was not for them, and things started to go bad, and just absolutely terrified of just like they just knew something was bad, and just them having it was a bad omen to them. Um, but yeah, so the men who did not die were struck with tumors, and the cry of the city went up to heaven. Crazy, bro, crazy. And this was just from item. So I wonder if like the Ark of the Covenant, like I wonder if it was just made out of gold, or maybe it was from made out of a material that like only exists in heaven. I don't know, but it's pretty crazy stuff. And there's also stuff like on how there's like theories about how it could be on like this place called Oak Island, and it's like still like somewhere hidden as buried treasure. But yeah, let's continue on to this next chapter. The ark returned to Israel. The ark of the Lord was in the country of the Philistines 7 months. And the Philistines called for the priests and the diviners and said, "What shall we do with the ark of the Lord? Tell us with what we shall send it to its place." They said, "If you send away the ark of God of Israel, do not send it empty, but by all means return him a guilt offering. Then you will be healed, and it will be known to you why his hand does not turn away from you." And they said, "What is the guilt offering that we should return to him?" And they answered, 5 golden tumors and 5 golden mice, according to the number of lords of the Philistines. For the same plague was on all of you and your lands, or all of you and your lords. So you must make images of your tumors and images of your mice that ravage the land, and give glory to the God of Israel. Perhaps he will lighten his hand from off you and your gods and your land. Why should you harden your hearts as the Egyptians, and Pharaoh hardened their hearts? Mm. After he had dealt severely with them, they did not send the people away, and they departed. Now then, take and prepare a new cart and two milk cows on which there has never come a yoke, and the yoke and yoke the cows to the cart, but take their calves home away from them. And take the ark of the Lord and place it on the cart, and put in a box at its side the figures of gold, which you are returning to him as a guilt offering. And send it off and let it go its way and send it off and let it go its way and watch. And if it goes up on its way to its own land, Bethshemesh, then it is he who has done us this great harm. But if not, we shall know that it is not his hand that struck us. It happened to us by coincidence. I see. I see. So they're basically testing to see like if it was just coincidence or if the God of Israel is really the one who harassed them. Which one do you think it is? I think we know which one it is. The men did so, and took two milk cows and yoked them to the cart and shut up their calves at home. And they put the ark of the Lord on the cart and the box with the golden mice and the images of their tumors. And the cows went straight in the direction of Bel-Mesh along one highway, plowing as they went. They turned neither to the right or to the left, and the lords of the Philistines went after them as far as the border of Bel-Mesh. Now the people of Bel-Mesh were reaping their wheat harvest in the valley. And when they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark, they rejoiced to see it. The cart came into the field of Joshua of Beth Shemesh and stopped there. A great stone was there. They split up the wood of the cart and offered the cows as a burnt offering to the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord and the box that was beside it, in which were the golden figures. They set them upon the great stone. And the men of Beth Shemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrificed sacrifices on that day to the Lord. And when the five lords of the Philistines saw it, they returned that day to Ekron. These are the golden tumors that the Philistines returned as a guilt offering to the Lord: one for Ashdod, one for Gaza, one for Ashkelon, one for Gath, and one for Ekron. Those are probably the cities that the Philistines' five major cities. Um, and the golden mice, according to the number of all the cities of the Philistines belonging to the five lords, both fortified cities and unwalled villages. The great stone beside which they set down the ark of the Lord is a witness to this day in the field of Joshua of Bethshemesh. And he struck some of the men of Bethshemesh because they looked upon the ark of the Lord. He struck 70 men of them. Jeez. The people mourned because the Lord had struck the people with a great blow. Then the men of Bethshemesh said, who is able to stand before the Lord, this holy God, and whom shall he go up away from us? So they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kiriath Jearim, saying, the Philistines have returned the ark of the Lord. Come down and take it up to you. Okay, hold on. It said 70 people died. He struck some of the men of Bethshemesh because they looked upon the ark of the Lord. So I guess just looking at it just made them die, which also makes me think that it's just some powerful thing from heaven, an object, and kind of like how like the radiation of like angels is like if you were to see like an angel, like it would be so bright. Like sometimes like you see like there's like examples of the Bible, people in the presence of God and their skin was literally glowing after. I think that's like that, but to the extremity of death. Um, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank y'all so much, and I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.